Welcome to Biz Lounge, where we'll give you a peek into the minds and souls of some of the greatest business leaders. On today's show, we'll talk about a company that zoomed its way into the country half a decade ago and in a short 5-year span has captured the #2 spot in the luxury car segment. Michael Perschke, the man behind this roaring success, joins us today in Mumbai. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Before we take our conversation forward with Michael, here's a quick look at the German carmaker's journey in India.
If you feel you never stay in one place.
When you hear the name Audi, it's probably fast zooming machines like these that come to mind. And it was in 2007 that this German automaker made an entry into the luxury car segment in India, already dominated by BMW and Mercedes.
India was not so much on our radar screen. But when the market opened up, especially 2000, 2001, 2002, and showed interesting growth rates, as an economy, India became more accessible and more open market policy. And I think today we do not regret we came late, because also as a new kid on the block, we came with a very fresh and very young image. And I think that's where we're benefiting today from.
In just half a decade, Audi has managed to create a niche clientele for itself that ranges from business tycoons to Bollywood bigwigs. It revised its sales target upwards in 2012 after exceeding its initial target of 8,000 units earlier than expected. And it aims to sell 3,000 units of its Q3 entry-level SUVs in 2013.
We have a lot of derivatives, so new engines, new packages, new features. We have a whole bunch of beautiful sports cars coming to India. I think the top of the pinnacle is going to be the new R8, which we just introduced in Europe. Then probably an S6, RS5, and various other sports models, plus some other surprises, which are not going to spoil the beans right now.
The man behind the wheel at Audi India, who worked at rivals BMW and Mercedes in the past, is working towards grabbing the top spot as the #1 luxury automaker in hopes of taking control of the driver's seat.
Okay, Michael, so quite a journey for Audi in India over the last 5 years. Tell us what it's been like, and has it exceeded your expectations?
I think the last 5 years have been amazing in regards of learning experience for us as a group with a market which is as dynamic as India and as different. I mean, for many people who don't know India, India is a black box. How does it function? I mean, you go out in the traffic and you wonder how the traffic will remain stable without chaos. But I think we learned a lot, and we made our steps step by step. In the last 5 years, we've been able to establish a brand, which I think is very important. India is a very brand-conscious market. So basically, we did a lot of groundwork. And what we see this year and probably the next years is we have put a lot of seeds in the ground, and we start seeing the harvest coming in step by step as we speak.
You're planning on increasing sales and hitting the #1 spot by 2015. Tell us how you're planning on doing that and what new launches we can expect.
Well, when we came to India already when I came to India in 2010, we developed a 2020 strategy, so a 10-year plan. And 2015 was for us one of these milestones which we set ourselves as a target for going for market leadership. As we speak, we feel we might even be in a position to achieve that 1 year earlier, to maybe 2014. We have a couple of products in our mind which we think would make a lot of sense for India. So the product launches, I think this year we launched the Q3 on the basis of an import strategy. We will probably by next year, middle next year, start production of the Q3. We started the production of the Q7 just by end of this year. So also go from an import strategy to a local production strategy. And we're currently analyzing various body concepts and various size price points, because India to some extent has still a certain relation between price and size. So we are a little bit skeptical on the hatchback market. I'm not sure if that will click immediately with the customer. US or Europe, hatchback, even above 25,000 US dollars or 20,000 euro is a normal thing. You have a Golf which dominates the market, and then the A3, another product. India, we haven't seen any hatchbacks selling above 6-7 lakhs maximum.
How much do foreign currency fluctuations and rising input costs impact the company's growth and ultimately the bottom line?
I think you speak about the right year. This year, at peak fluctuations, we were down at minus 23% euro against Indian rupee. If you have a fluctuation of 2, 3, 4, 5%, somehow you buffer that in. You have made some risk hedging and whatsoever. But 23% you cannot balance at all anymore. We don't have this kind of margins because if you look, 80 to 85% of our materials are either imported or part of imported components. We have transportation costs which go up significantly. You have a labor factor which is going up. You have certain taxation issues which basically right now are not beneficial to the luxury importers like the last union budget. So all this you have to compensate.
How is marketing for a luxury auto brand different than marketing for any other car brand?
Well, you could say every marketeer is cooking only with the same recipe of a little bit of water and a little bit of colors and a little bit of flavors. But I think the most important thing for a luxury brand, and I'm not saying only Audi, but a category of luxury brands, can it be watches, apparels, or everything, you have to first create some aspiration. Yeah, whether it's the aspiration for a Gucci or Prada, yeah, where people buy not only a bag or a watch, people buy a certain lifestyle. It's the same to buy an Audi. We have elements which help us. It's our design, very important, because if you want to sell an aspirational product, the look and feel has to be very different. I think secondly, it's our technology features, which you do not only have, but you need to communicate into a value proposition, because we always feel that our classical buyers have made their decision with their stomach. And then the brain comes and needs to justify it. So the justification is fuel efficiency. You know, you can even talk to people who buy a 1 crore car and are really multimillionaires and say, okay, how much mileage per liter? You know, funnily, that question probably in some other parts of the world would never be asked for such a product. I think for 2 or 3 years we were just another German car brand. But especially in the last 2 years, I think we could build certain brand DNA which people relate to.
Okay, Michael, we have to take a quick break here. But when we get back, we'll take a look at the managerial qualities of this dynamic leader.